a good subject to talk about because you have so many people now, copycats, that are trying to imitate Charlie Kirk, and they're not Charlie Kirk. You know, Charlie Kirk didn't go on campuses trying to cause chaos. He did not visit HBCUs. That wasn't, he went on campus that were predominantly white because those are the people that he was interested in recruiting to Turning Point USA. But you have these two individuals from, I think they call it Fearless. I think they call what, Fearless YouTubers or
Fearless debaters.
Fearless debaters, that they knew going on to a HBCU campus that they wanted to stir it up. They wanted to cause the chaos, and they people are doing stuff just for views.
And they didn't even ask for permission to be there.
Yeah, they didn't ask for permission to be there. They didn't let the campus know that they were coming. So they just want to show up, you know, get the students all riled up. And this is fresh after Charlie Kirk, unfortunately, when he had lost his life, like a few days later or the same day or day after, there were all these threats that were aimed at the HBCU campus, even though allegedly Tyler Robinson, who is a white man who is MAGA and whose family is MAGA, that he is the one that shot Charlie Kirk. But it was the black colleges that were threatened. And following that, a young man by the name of Trey Reed was found hanging from a tree. And this country is known of lynching 785 people, I think up until 1968. I think it was from 1865 to 1968. Don't quote me on numbers, but it was over 4,000, like 700 people that were lynched and found hanging from trees in this country. And when you hear about people being lynched hanging from trees, that's a hallmark of Ku Klux Klan, white supremacy. Is to stir up intimidation. And I think that it was too soon for these YouTubers and these two young men. They're just going to go to a black college. And mind you, the black students and the college are minding their own business. They are where they are supposed to be. They're going to class. They have nothing to do with what happened to Charlie Kirk, but this is what they wanted. Yes. And so we want to jump in on it because the way that it will be spent with the rest of media, like they were unorthodox, they were acting chaotic and all this kind of stuff. And so we want to get sort of in front of it before all these labels begin that aren't associated with white communities and other communities in the United States of America.
The Mr. Boosie said hi, but he also said that Tyler Robinson's own family, friends, neighbors said he was far left. He dated a furry that hated Trump.
Yeah, I hear that going on too, but he was a registered Republican. He was a registered Republican, not a Democrat. His grandmother said that the whole family is MAGA. Whatever was going on in his personal life, and it's still a lot. That's why I said alleged shooter, because it's still a lot that's going on with Tyler Robinson. So it's still being investigated. It's still a lot that we don't know. But we can't continue to label Americans all Americans. We can't continue the divide. We have to bring it together. We have to have these civil conversations in order to have the truth coming out. Whether Tyler was the left or MAGA, because you had Democrats, congresswomen, and people that have been killed as well. You had Pelosi's husband that was beaten up. So it's been violence on both sides, and we're going to say that. But for these people to try to copycat Charlie Kirk, there was only one Charlie Kirk, and he went onto campus, and he went on to predominantly white campuses. That was who he was recruiting. He was recruiting for his Turning Point USA, and it wasn't black students.
Well, you have to look it up because they didn't ask permission to be at the college. Charlie Kirk would ask permission to go to the colleges. They didn't.
Everyone's supposed to ask. You're not just supposed to show up and put your table up and cause a chaos, and you're going against the whole body of students. That's not how it's done. You have to ask permission to go onto a college campus or college grounds. which they did not do because they wanted to stir up. They wanted the reaction because guess what they're going to get? They're going to get views, and we're talking about it. We're going to get views, and they're going to paint the picture that they wanted. Those young people, they're going to act up. You're coming into their community and their campus, and you're telling them, oh, about DEI. First of all, Black people are not DEI. We are not the face of DEI. We are not DEI. So a lot of people still, for some reason, don't know that DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, was mostly benefited by white women. Like when you hear people fighting for DEI, that's fighting for white women. Black people did not benefit from DEI, but we're labeled DEI. Whatever we do, we got to be the best of the best, no doubt. We have to graduate with honors. We have to graduate the top of our classes. We can't just barely get by. We have to be the best of the best. And DEI did not benefit us. And so when you go into these college campuses, they're going to show them acting up, and they're going to say, look how they're acting. Look at all this. They accomplished. This is all a mind game. They accomplished exactly what they set out to do. They knew those Black students were not going to have it. They're on their campus. They're going to come on their campus with their MAGA hats, DEI signs, and they did all this to stir up that community. And they were uninvited, and they didn't ask permission even from the schools. So they wanted to happen what had happened. But what Black people have to understand is to stand down because you were set up for the reaction. They're not mature enough not to misbehave or to react the way that they did because they're still young people. So they don't know that they're being played. They got those people from the, what were they called again?
Jay, quit acting tough because you wouldn't say that to a Black man's face.
Those people that went on the campus, what were they called? The debaters? What were they called? Their names. Look on it. Yeah, fearless debaters. Yeah, fearless. Like when they went on the campus with the intent. Guess what they want? Views. Guess what they want? Popularity. Guess what they want? To get their names out. Charlie Kirk did not do this.
Carson Gaines, what are you talking about? Nobody is doing what you're saying we're doing.
Charlie Kirk did not go on Black campuses and try to cause a riot or stir up the Black community. Yeah. He did not do that. What he did, he went to Utah, all white campuses, and he was speaking to the white community, and he was trying to recruit to Turning Point USA. And if there were Black students, then he would try to debate them and tell them what it was to be Black in America. That's what Charlie Kirk would do. But he did not go on to campuses and stir up Black schools, predominantly Black schools, and stir up the students. And he never went to campuses uninvited. When he was in Utah, they knew he was coming. Everybody knew he was coming. He had permission to be at the schools. These people didn't do that because they're saying, oh, we needed to fund HBCUs. Guess what? Trump already been doing that now. You know, this is to stir people up. And they were successful in it because the young students didn't know how to respond to that. They didn't know how to react to that, and that's why they didn't want to be announced. Because if it was announced, it would have been organized response. If they had announced that they were coming there, then they would have been prepared, and they would have educated the students how they should react. You could hit those likes if you don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Eli, do you mind hitting the hearts, please? Yeah, so we're going to show some of it now. And this is coming from TYT Sports.
You called the East primitive for what? We created y'all knowledge. We created y'all science. We created y'all math. Y'all didn't do fight still. Y'all didn't do anything to your You guys didn't make it. You guys touch children. You guys
showing them the door.
We walking them to the door, y'all. I don't even know how they get on campus. We gonna figure that out, but I don't know. They need to get like a trespass like penalty or something because
Sending them off.
Tell him it's that boy. He thought he was gonna come up like Charlie
Yes.
Kirk.
yes. Say good job, TSU.
Good job, Santa.
At Tennessee State and HBCU, MAGA people tried their best, but
Let that skip for that part. So that's how they entered the campus, and they were only there, I think, like a total of 15 minutes, because before all of the chaos, because they set their tables up, they put their signs up, which we will show you. So if you're going to come there, you're going to put signs up that's like attacking the students of the schools. They're going to react.
the students made their voices heard.
So this goes on for a little while, and you can imagine the young people are extremely upset because they feel like they're being invaded by unwanted guests onto the campus. These people were not invited to come on the campus, because if they were invited, they would have known, they would have been prepared, and the body would have told them how to respond, and they would have set it up. But you can't just show up following the death and hanging of a Black HBCU student following the death of Charlie Kirk and after the threats to HBCUs. That's a lot to take in when Black people had nothing to do with the death of Charlie Kirk. We had nothing to do with his death. But when things happen in this country, it always comes back to, like, it's Black people, no matter what the crime is. White on white crime, oh, it's Black people. Black on black, it's Black people. But this isn't the case. But they got what they wanted. These are adults that went there to a college where you have young, impressionable students that feel like they are being attacked by these two white men. They're going to feel so entitled that they feel like they could come up, set up tables, disrespecting their community. And of course, you're going to get a reaction.
It's like people are not getting in the comments that they wanted the students to react.
They wanted the students to react like that. The whole point. Yeah, go ahead.
All this viewership, all this fame.
Yeah, look, they're getting fame. I didn't know about what do they call it? Fearless
debaters.
Debaters? I never even heard of them. They're getting their fame from this. This is how they're blowing up on YouTube. They knew going in, come on now, y'all are adult, y'all know, they knew going on to a Black campus that they were going to get that reaction. What you thought? The kids were going to be like, oh, they are disrespecting us and they're going to say kumbaya? They weren't welcome there. They didn't know they were coming there. They didn't even let the school know.
They weren't supposed to be at
They weren't supposed to be there. They weren't supposed to be there. You can't just show up and set up a table at someone's college. But they didn't go there because they wanted to talk to the students. They went there to get this reaction from the students. What do the students want to talk to them about? They're not part of Turning Point USA. They're there getting their education. They don't have anything they feel that has anything to do with Charlie Kirk and all of this stuff that's going on. They're there enjoying their college life. And then they're going to come after following the death of a Black HBCU student no more than a week ago. Look him up, Trey Reed, hanging from a tree. I think it's too soon for two white guys to show up at an HBCU antagonizing the students. They're going to react like that. That's called reaction. That's called reaction. That was too soon following the threats to HBCU colleges, following a hanging of a black college student, and then they're showing up at a black college, minding their own business. They were not wanted there. That's like somebody coming to your house from your job and you don't like that coworker and he gonna come anyway and he gonna try to come in and take over your house. And you don't like him at work. I don't like you at home. They don't want anything to do with them. Let's start with that. They don't want anything to do with them, but the whole point was to have this chaos. This is the whole point. And young people, y'all got to learn to stand down. Now y'all know what's going on. They want to get a reaction out of you. Since black kids are not coming to y'all, so they're going to come to you. They're going to come to you. That's what they're going to do. They're going to come to you. What were they trying to recruit you to Turning Point? USA? What were they trying to do? They're going to come in there and say they need to get rid of DEI? Why do they want to debate you about DEI when it doesn't represent black people? I mean, and then they don't even know probably what it represented.
And you could talk further detail on that, because it was funny because a white woman was in the comments saying black people benefit most from DEI.
Yeah, black people were the last. DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, because of those who are still lost, use ChatGPT, use Google, look it up, please, people. DEI benefited white women, period. Followed by Hispanics, Asians, disabled, Indians, indigenous, seniors, disabled, vets, then black people. Black people were number 9. There's 8 other categories. We were number 9. We didn't benefit from DEI. But they always want to say, oh, I wouldn't get on a plane if it's a black pilot. Guess what? That black pilot had to be the number 1 student in that class. He didn't get hired from DEI. You got to be the best for our positions. But all the news have to do is let you think diversity, equity, inclusion means DEI, and it doesn't. But anyway, we're going to get back to the video. They were not wanted there. You can't tell me that this was beneficial for those students, that this was what was wanted or needed at this college following a freaking hanging of a black student. You can't convince me that this was good intent. No. See, that's what they're going to get. Like they said, that those kids need to be taught how to be civil. See, that's why I'm putting on here, because it's going to be these freaking people saying that none of them were touched, none of them were hurt. The white guys, nobody was arrested. They didn't like them being there, but nobody was harmed. But they came unannounced. They were not supposed to have been there, period. They were not supposed to have been there. They were not supposed to just show up at this black college like that. They're reacting to the way that they knew they would react.
Very black and very tired of this.
That's exactly what was wanted. That was exactly what the intent was. That's what they wanted to happen.
And the group would be escorted off the grounds without issue. A school statement read, "At all times, Tennessee State University students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. The safety and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff remain our highest priority. Tennessee State University will continue to uphold university policies and ensure that campus remains a safe, welcoming, and orderly environment for all members of our community." The Miami Herald would importantly report the individuals were not connected to the school. They arrived without permits required for campus protests. According to policy, all demonstrations do need that prior authorization, and they didn't have it. Furthermore, Tennessee state officials and the SGA both stress that the school would not allow unauthorized demonstrations designed to divide the community. That's a net positive, by the way. The fast actions of campus police and staff,
Like,
combined with the
subscribe.
professionalism, of students, demonstrated the school's strong commitment to creating a safe environment. The NAACP added in part, this incident was not an isolated act of political expression. It was an intentional effort to antagonize, disrupt, and instill fear in a space created to be safe, affirming, and supportive of Black students. Let's be clear about what we saw. These students tried to not necessarily engage with others. They were attempting to use the Charlie Kirk method and clip farm a lot of what they were talking about in order to post on their social media,
That's right.
become the next Charlie Kirk. It is very clear that that is what they're trying to do because the seat is open. And in turn, I think we've actually learned our lesson
I
that
don't know about
nobody
you're not
should
gonna
be
do your
engaging with
show.
these people. I mean that. I think it has led to divisiveness. I think if we have seen anything from the very unfortunate circumstances that happened this past month, that it is only going to get worse and more divisive.
Yeah.
And the actions of these people are not in good faith. You could out-debate them in a 5-minute time frame and leave them baffled. But because of the algorithms, the people we follow, they will present to their side how they, beat up a woke black Marxist leftist communist at Tennessee State University. Like, what are we doing here? These people know nothing. And yet, look, don't get me wrong, I'm glad that nothing bad happened. I'm glad no one got hurt. I'm also glad that the students took a stand, because that's how it should be. These are not going to be instances where folks like these who show up on campuses like an HBCU are going into it saying, I'm coming in with an open mind, let's talk. Those are violent messages that they had. Those are hateful messages. And I actually think we should take the Mehdi Hassan route where we don't debate fascists. We just don't. I think we don't debate them. I think if 0 people responded to Jubilee, I think if 0 people showed up at their table, they would have nothing. They would be nothing. So maybe this is a time for reflection. And I'm also very open to suggestions in the comments on how to handle stuff like this. Because I don't think that these people are going into it with a change my mind sort of thing. I believe it's about clip farming.
And I totally agree. That's what that was about. That had nothing to do, like they went in for this, hi, Debbie P. I don't believe that they went for the best interest of the young students. It was uncalled for, and it was for clickbait, just like they said. Do you know there's YouTubers that are making so much money off of Charlie Kirk's unfortunate death? We did not go online or say anything about Charlie Kirk, because what happened to him was horrific. It was a tragedy. Yeah. He didn't deserve it. We didn't go on or try to profit or make money. But all these other YouTubers and content creators, they're doing all they can. They ones who don't get any views. They got million subscribers, which we don't have. And their other videos, we were looking, they got like 2,000 views. They were getting 5,000 views. They weren't even getting views with their uploads. They did Charlie Kirk, they're getting 300,000 views, and they've been dragging his death for profit. You're going to have all these copycats. They don't mean well. If you get a reaction, there are people out here, you get a reaction out of the individuals, then you're going to get a viral video. You're going to make a lot of money. We saw some other black guy, like, he's disgusting. He gets no views. And all he does is cater to the white community, trying to say what they want to hear by putting down the black community. And he does all he can and trying to profit off of Charlie Kirk. I'm not even going to show him because I'm glad he doesn't get views. I'm glad. Because we need to come together as one nation under God and have some civil conversations. But you can't show up with young people who haven't been put in these type of situations. They don't know how to react when people just show up at their campus while they're trying to get an education, and you're coming with signs and you're being divisive and you just want to get a reaction because of views. What happened was exactly what they wanted it to happen. So then people could take clips. Look how they acted. You see how these black students acted? Yeah, they're thugs. They're violent. No, they're college students minding their own business, being invaded by some YouTubers who want clickbait and want to cause more divide.
Trying to harass them.
They were harassing them. And then you didn't even give the college respect like you're supposed to. You're supposed to get a permit. You're supposed to ask for permission. And it would have been handled differently. But why would you want people coming onto your campus that are divisive, that want to cause chaos and stir them up? That's why people like going to, when they had the Palestinians going to campuses, they felt like, oh, that's causing a divide. That's stirring up against the Jewish students. You know, you're going to cause chaos.
They weren't supposed to be there, so technically they did invade the school.
They invaded the school. They were not allowed on the grounds. They did not have permission to do that because they didn't want permission, because they wanted to get the views. If you come unannounced and set up tables and you're going to put up signs talking about DEI and all that, and these young people don't understand that DEI did not benefit black people. It benefited white women, benefited from DEI. They don't know, but it's such a label onto our community, just like thug when we're not thugs, because every community got thugs. Now, I'm going to put up all these police officers at Fox News, MSNBC. Nobody's putting up all these freaking cop killings that are going on. And just in York, Pennsylvania, 5 cops were ambushed, 3 murdered, 2 in critical condition, and I ain't see it on nobody's news. I couldn't believe it.
Cat Larry, what do you think Charlie Kirk did? Do you think he just popped up and appeared at people's schools, or do you think he got permission first before he went there? Answer me that.
Charlie Kirk never just popped up. He had permission. He didn't even conduct himself that way. But it was way too soon after a young man was murdered at HBCU, hung by a tree, following Charlie Kirk's unfortunate death. This young man, unfortunately, was murdered. When you hung from a tree, that's a message. That's a message. It's been like over 4,000, like 700 lynchings in this country.
I need everybody in the chat room to look up who DEI benefits.
Yeah, just look up DEI. Y'all got Chat GPT. Y'all have Google. It's so many different avenues that you can look up what DEI and who benefited from it. And by now, everyone should know. Everyone should know. And it's not black people. And see, when you got people keep saying the same thing on the mainstream media news, you start believing what they say instead of looking it up for yourself. And now more of the truth is coming out because more people are trying to look it up. And this young man, he was going to school trying to get his education, and he wound up being hung. He's in college, getting an education, living his life, living his dream, broken arms, but he hung. No black person or no person, period, has ever gone and climbed a tree, especially black, and hung themselves. Now, why? How come you don't hear white men and everybody else being hung? And this is 2025. 2025. And they always want to say, oh, a suicide. No, he didn't. He wasn't depressed. He wasn't on, maybe he was. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Ain't nobody gonna climb a tree and get a rope and all of that. We don't do that as black people. There's history behind hangings in the United States of America. One thing about Speak the Truth 2.0, we're going to have the conversations. You got to have these conversations, because it's not the things that go on until we address these concerns. That's why we have the divide in this country. Everybody wants to sugarcoat wrong, just like they say in the Bible. People are going to call wrong right and right wrong. People will fight you on something that they know is wrong, and they'll try to make it right. You see the actions of these people. It's wrong. It was nothing positive going to come out of that. It's called, do you know you got YouTubers now? It's called clickbaiting. You got YouTubers, they thrive off how we can get a reaction from the public. They make money off of y'all. It's about the Benjamins. It's not about what their reaction and all that. It's about bringing more chaos. Next year, have President Trump talking about, yeah, look how they acted. They were acting violently. Skip all over the fact, no permit, just showed up. They're on their school grounds. Why are you there? They're minding their own business. Don't involve these young people. They didn't go to a white school, these black students, and act out of order. They came to them to cause the chaos, and they got what they were seeking. If you're a YouTube creator, you understand the deal. This is what we don't do that on this channel. We're not doing that, because we don't answer to you. We answer to God. I can't get on here in good conscience and go against my community knowing they're being set up. They were set up for to happen what had happened. That's how people are going to react. People react when the Palestinians go onto campuses and they're against the Jews. You're going to get a reaction from people. And it's all about money. It's all about getting fame. That's what it's all about. But we have to learn, start reacting. And this is what happened. You can't do this following the murder of a black student, a HBCU student.
And the Cleveland Police Department say Reed's autopsy proves he died by suicide. Some DSU students accepted this information, while others are still skeptical. Students on Delta State University's campus react to Cleveland Police Department's ruling of Trey Reed's death.
I don't have much of an opinion on the autopsy. I'd like to think that they aren't lying, but considering the history of Mississippi, it's hard to be sure.
On Thursday, it was ruled that the 21-year-old DSU student died by suicide. Reed was found hanging from a tree on the university's campus near the pickleball courts Monday.
The family needs to hire their own personal investigator. I think they need to do their own investigating.
Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who stepped in to represent Reed's family, said they are seeking an independent autopsy. Reed's grandfather said he is suspicious of CPD's initial ruling on Reed's death because they were misinformed by officials.
He told me that they found Trey Reed in his room.
Crump is also demanding that they are shown a video of what led to Trey's death.
You keep telling us what to believe, but you're not showing us any evidence, showing us any video.
Cleveland police say all files and materials have been turned over to the FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office for review. They add final toxicology results could take 2 to 4 weeks to complete.
If he really did kill himself, I hope his family finds peace. And if he didn't, I hope his family finds justice.
I don't care if you
The
unsubscribe.
Trey Reed's independent autopsy is being paid for by the Colin Kaepernick's Know Your Rights Camp Autopsy Initiative.
Thank God. Colin Kaepernick is paying for the autopsy. I don't care if you unsubscribe. I don't care. I know that people can't handle the truth. There's something going on. And somebody else subscribe. Thank you. So for everyone that unsubscribe, there'll be somebody that will subscribe. But we're living in the last days. And guess what? We support Trump just about everything. This channel, if you look at the channel, it's showing our support for President Trump. And this channel is because you should be paying attention to your elected officials, whether you agree with them or not. He is not the president of just MAGA or just Republicans. He's the president of all Americans, all of us. Yeah. Whether you voted for him or not, whether you voted or not, whether you voted for the left, just like my congressman, he's a Democrat congressman, but he has to represent me as well. They have to represent all of us. And we got these parties that divide us and divide the community with so much hate and vitriol that people can't, and divisiveness, that people can't even hear the freaking truth. They be playing us.
It's like Trump should not be going on Fox News and doing an interview with Fox News.
You know, you can't be one-sided when you're supposed to represent the United States of America and the American citizens. What happened to that young man is we know he didn't murder himself. He didn't hang himself from a damn tree. They always say this. This is 2025. There's a history of lynchings in the United States of America, and it's never been done by black people. Let's just start with that. And black people haven't been the only ones hung in this country. There have been white people hung for supporting black people. There have been, I think, Asians and maybe other ethnicities. But the majority of people that have been hung from trees have been black people. So I'm not going to discount white people that lost their lives as well, fighting for black people. And there are like many freaking people that are white. This is not a thing about white against the white community or the black community. It's about it being about one community, the United States of America. It's about being about Americans. I see more white people fighting for black people and black rights than sometimes black people. So it's nothing like that. They got boots on the ground. They're out there protesting all the time. I see them. But when you got YouTube content creators, you got please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell and think about becoming a member of Speak the Truth 2.0. One thing we are going to do, we're not going to sugarcoat. We know that some subjects are difficult for people to hear because they like to divide. They like hearing the negativity. They like the stereotypes. You can't call black people thugs and you don't call white people thugs. There's white on white crime running around this country, but they're not showing you guys. They're not showing you. You know, a cop was killed last week, 2 weeks ago, shot 10 times in the back of the head. Where's the breaking news? He was 10 times in the back of his head, shot at 15 times. 5 cops shot in York, Pennsylvania, like 5 or 6 days ago. Where the news at? Killed 3 of them. Critically injured 2. And they wouldn't even say his name or produce a picture of the white man that killed him. But he's not going to be called a thug or violent, right? You got another white kid that went in Evergreen High School. Same day Charlie Kirk lost his life. But it was kids that lost their life that day. They wasn't even trying to show it on the news. Mass shootings. 3 weeks before, white guy goes in, kids are praying. And he's shooting them dead inside of their school. And not called thug, not because they look like these innocent angels. Thugs, violent, criminals. That's what they are. But you get a black kid beating up someone, a white person. Oh, they thugs, they violent, they all. Let's send in the National Guards.
Yeah, girl, it's about talking about all crime, not just crime.
This is about all crime. We're not going to label one community and ignore what's going on in other communities that have a higher crime rate.
It reminds me of how they put DEI on black people.
Yeah, they want to just like we like, oh, let's go into Chicago, but let's ignore the 13 other states that have a higher crime rate than Chicago. But we don't want to put the resources in the community because they got poverty. You have poverty, you're going to have stealing. They can resolve it. But we could take care of 14 plus million illegal immigrants that came in here and provide luxury apartments, housing, Social Security, supply, everything that they had needed. College education. We gave them everything while our vets and our homeless are still on the streets.
Yeah, girl, look at what that
crazy.
The governor of Maryland.
Governor of Maryland, their crime rate is down 62% because you got to have the programs. They can stop it, give the opportunity, give the jobs. They know how to stop it, but they like the black on black crime. They could have been stopped it. The Democrats been in office for 12 of the last 16 years. Is there anti-hate crime bill for black people? Hell no.
She's saying that the cities want the National Guard there.
National Guards are not your freaking police. That's your military. We got bigger threats. You know what our threat is? Russia. While we imploding in the United States and we're being divided by our leadership, they are imploding right now internationally. Russia is bombing the heck out of Ukraine. He's bombing Poland. President Xi and Russia are conniving together along with India. So you got the second, third, and maybe fourth world power. They working together against the United States while the EU are still accepting oil from Russia. So us putting sanctions on Russia ain't doing a damn thing. We got bigger problems going on. And they say Putin wants a World War III. And the way Trump is talking at the UN, he like almost talking about like, bring it. Well, we're waiting to see before we're going to react. If he reacts, then, hey, there go your World War III. Those are bigger issues than what we are fighting each other about. We're being distracted by this nonsense instead of being Americans. We already had the open border bullcrap, and we still not taking care of our own, and we still won't go and supply the resources to these communities. They know what it is. No jobs, no education. They get the worst teachers. They don't have the books. They don't have all the learning skill level is not the same. They don't have the same tools in a lot of these black urban schools and whatever. So when they go to college, they're not the same level as the white students because they have the tools that they need. Nope, God didn't make anybody smarter than the other. He gave us all the same brains. It's all about your education. It's all about education. Black people built this country. Black people built pyramids. Black people were been here since the beginning of time, period. But they try to downplay. That's why they don't want black people to know their history, to see how valuable we are to society since the beginning of time. Everyone derived on earth comes from black people. If you notice, most of the earth is brown complected, period. White people came around, I think it's only been around like 10,000 years. The more they went north or whatever, then that's how complexion changed. But the first people that existed were not white people. Like they try to show you in these movies and things like that. But the truth is going to come out. And with social media, you can find out more than ever things that you're not being taught in schools, things that they're trying to remove. History. You can't remove history when we all know the history. You can't, it's not enough books. You can take everything out of the Smithsonian. We still got people that still got the history. But you're going to have to put it back. You're going to have to put it back. You got to put it back. We need to know history. We're not ashamed of our history. You're supposed to learn and grow from history, not hide it, to see how horrific it was. People were being hung upside down, pregnant, and they would take a knife and cut the baby out of the black woman's belly. They used to feed the kids to crocodiles. They would take horses and rip them apart. It's so much stuff that happened. It was horrible. Don't let nobody tell you that slavery was great. They worked them from sun up to sundown.
And Trump's trying to remove.
They want to remove it so they don't want to show you how barbaric it was. And then they want to talk about God. God was not in slavery. That was evil. That was wickedness. And it was wrong. And black people have never behaved like that. Even till today. That is not our culture. We do not behave like that. And they want to say we're violent. Come on now. That's a lie from hell. You have people that are violent in every culture. Not just one. But what those guys did, and following the death of that young man, he did not hang himself. He did not hang himself. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification, So I know this is a tough subject, but when I saw this come on, this is all it's all about clickbait. It's all about clickbait. And that's what they do. You might have more people that say, okay, they went to the colleges. You're going to have more copycats. Those are copycats. I don't think that Charlie Kirk carried himself that way. He certainly didn't go unannounced to any school. Yeah. How are you going to go to a school and you want to demean the people that are there and tell them, oh, they DEI when they're not? You can't go to their college campuses and then you want to demean them like that. You can't go there like that. Like what they tried to do. That's going to be the reaction. That's frustration. They were not wanting it. He's happy. Clickbait, happy.
Hey, what's up, man? There's a hell. You feel me? Like, it's a day out here.
Before being chased off, the debaters would post a picture of themselves on Instagram to announce their arrival to the campus. They would go on the caption, "We're here at Tennessee State University in Nashville, the first HBCU that we're visiting on the Fearless Tour. Let's talk." From research, the debaters are headlined by personality Cam Higby and political commentator David Cate. Both men appear to have a history of creating content that is meant to create viral debates while triggering some with their strong opinions. Following being chased away, the debaters will post on Instagram, "We set up a table. It caused a race riot, apparently, at Fearless Debates. This was at Tennessee State University." They would even follow up with another shared post asking people to defund the school over the students' response. Following the incident, Tennessee State University would share a statement about the now uninvited visitors. Today, a group of individuals unaffiliated with Tennessee State University appeared on campus without prior notice. In accordance with university policy, any demonstration or protest activity requires advance approval and permitting. Campus police and staff responded promptly, and the individuals were escorted from university grounds without incident. At all times, TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. The safety and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff remain our highest priority. TSU will continue to uphold university policies and ensure that campus remains a safe, welcoming, and orderly environment for all members of our community. Now on X, David Kate would further the conversation by explaining why they were asked to leave and even pushed back on the school, claiming the students acted professionally. Tennessee State University, along with other HBCUs, are celebrating after police had to escort us off campus for our safety. To be clear, the cops didn't ask us to leave due to being there without permission. They decided after 10 minutes that for our safety, it's best that we end the event. Due to a hostile mob, the cops were forced to escort us to our cars.
See the words?
Now, in an attempt to deny claims made by Tennessee State University that the students acted professionally, Kate would share footage of their black security guard being roasted by students. With the video, he would write, "This was our security guard today. This is how Tennessee State University at TSU students treated him." Followed up by inquiring with TSU if this is the professional and respectful manner they were claiming their students engaged in. Now on X, several people who agreed with the students' response would take to their social pages. "I don't know why these people thought Tennessee State was a university to try. They ran them folks smooth up off campus. There was no reason for people that do not go to Tennessee State University to be on that campus without permission. That puts the students at a huge risk. Security dropped the ball." Another would write, "Why do these clowns think black students have to listen and debate them?
Right.
LOL, what kind of weird entitlement? His bitch ass thought he was gonna be the next Charlie Kirk and went somewhere he knew he wasn't wanting to antagonize black students for views." And lastly, another would write, "This was intentional." And then they want to play victim and call the students names. HBCUs, get ready. They have an agenda for this foolishness. Be aware. Outside of those in support of the students, many fellow conservatives will share their anger over the men being removed from the campus, stating that the students' response proves to be a part of the problem. Now, over on the Tour's X page, they will go on to respond to the students chasing them off campus by saying, "Just 15 minutes into our tabling, the crowd went completely nuts, started stealing signs and attacking our speakers. University police had to show up. Our sign today said, DEI should be illegal. These students proved us right." For many, the decision to create a hostile environment by intentionally going to a majority black campus by copycat Charlie Kirk debaters was ill-timed, and the men were lucky to have left untouched after pulling off this kind of stunt for views. So let's talk about it more in the comments below. Do you think this group of men look to have a healthy debate, or look to provoke a response from the students for content by showing up in MAGA gear at a HBCU? Save the day for the latest news in comedy, culture, and sports by subscribing here to our YouTube channel. And if you enjoy...
You know what? It's just sad that you have these adults that are so backwards. They didn't do that because they wanted to debate anyone. They did that because they wanted a reaction, and they got it. Temperatures are rising high right now following the unfortunate death of Charlie Kirk. And now you have these copycat YouTubers that are trying to make money off of you guys. This is a money grab. They're trying to copy him, something that he was doing, but they're not doing it the way that he did it. He did not go to college campuses and black college campuses unannounced to antagonize and cause a riot at the school. They were not wanted there. The schools invite speakers and people to come there to benefit the welfare of the students. These white MAGA men wearing their hats did not come there because to benefit the students. It was nothing about them that was beneficial to the students. They didn't want them there. They didn't want to hear anything that they had to say. You just had a lynching last week and you want to come set up a table uninvited to the school. You know, you need to go and debate adults. Don't go to these children and try to debate them. We're going to read all of what you guys are saying. This was a setup. This was intentional. This was to stir up the community, and that's what happened. Why were they there? They weren't there to benefit them. Why didn't they talk to the school and go through proper channels to be able to get a permit to come on campus grounds? They didn't do that because they knew they weren't wanted there. So they popped up there. They're not MAGA. How, if you want them, 2 million black men voted for Donald Trump. And this is not how they got the votes. This is not how you have black individuals to turn red and vote Republican. This is not how I turned red and voted Republican. This is how you lose the black vote. You're not gaining the black vote. And I'm telling you, by going onto a HBCU campus, wearing a MAGA hat, and coming in with your DEI signs because you want to use the college for clickbait and you want to be a Charlie Kirk copycat. That's not how you're going to elections. If you think you're going to win different offices and you're going to exclude black people, you're not going to keep the majority of the House and the majority of the of Congress Republican. Trump received more black votes, I think that they said, in like 30 years. He won the popular vote. But this attack on black culture, when black people are saying, okay, the Democratic Party forever been making all these promises and doing nothing for the black community. And that's why people say, well, let's see what the Republicans can do for us. Because people need to earn our votes. Ever since Jim Crow, Ku Klux Klan, the 1994 crime bill, that was all Democrats. That was Democrats.
Joshua, what you said is invalid because Charlie Kirk got permission from the school before going and attending.
He would have tents. You know he was set up professionally. He got permission. He didn't show up. And y'all know, you go set up a table at a college and you put your signs up and see how long you last. And for people to act like it's not, that it was okay, then there's no truth in you. Because it was wrong what they did. Elijah, this is not plugged up. It was wrong. Their behavior was wrong. They incited them. And that was intentional. That's what they wanted. They got the reaction they knew that they were going to get from those students. And that was the whole point. So then they could use that video. See how they act? They act like a mob. They were violent. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was touched. You got to plug it up. It's not plugged up. It's going to go out. You know, and now that black people start voting more for Republicans, now you're going to lose the black vote. We're going to have to read all of what people are saying. Is it on? Yeah, we're going to read all of your comments. Thank you guys for the super chat. We are going to read everything. But I see that the Republican Party is going backwards. The community that's now trying to support you, now you're going to lose the black vote. It's like, who can we vote for? You vote for the Democrats. They were Ku Klux Klan, Jim Crow. They filibustered the Civil Rights Bill for 70 days. It was the Democratic Party. Joe Biden did the 1994 crime bill that caused mass incarceration of black people that's still affecting us today. They were over-sentencing black men. And they say, so the black fathers are not in the households. And that kept our birth rate down. And then when you're in prison, you're enslaved. So they can pay you slave wages. So they still have you still have your slaves. Black people are arrested 5 times more than anybody else. Not that we're committing 5 times more crime. You're just arrested 5 times more. And when they talk about statistics and records, the people that they are arresting aren't rapers and murderers. They're everyday people that are being arrested for whatever means to get numbers. Okay. All right, we'll start reading some. Let's go back because a lot, let's see. We're going to read some of them now. I think that's, okay, start with this one. You can start reading them.
All right.
And we'll respond to the super chats. Anybody want to talk to us? We're going to respond to the super chats now. Okay, Montgomery.
Yeah, that's the first one. He said, "Are you blind? That is a mob."
Exactly. That they're at their school and they're excited because of the circumstances. They incited their behavior, their reaction. So that's how that happened.
And next one,
You want to skip it?
because he said, "Sticks and stones, didn't your mama ever teach you that?"
Yeah, you know what? That's easy for you to say, but let somebody say something to your wife. Let somebody go up to your wife, disrespect your kids. And I want to see what you say. You know, words do carry weight. Like being called a thug from the President of the United States, that carries a lot of weight. So words, they matter. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. That's what it says in the Bible. So words matter.
Yeah, the next one said, "LOL, that's what a debate is."
They didn't want to debate them. They didn't go there to debate. Nobody asked them to come there to debate. They didn't want to debate. They wanted to incite the students, which they did. They were not a guest. They were not asked to come to debate the students.
They're trying to just go to school.
They just trying to go to school, enjoy campus life. They just trying to get a girlfriend, get a boyfriend, an education.
Yeah.
They want to have fun, enjoy. They're not there to be incited by people who want to clickbait people for views.
And the next one said, "Please tell me how words can cause a riot."
You know what? You must not be from the United States of America, because words do matter. Words matter. And they were unwelcome there. And they knew they weren't supposed to be there. And that was intentional. And they getting their views. Because they have people like you that don't see that these YouTubers only did that for clickbait. How come they didn't go to a white college with white students with their message?
Now he said, "Fair, but you are responsible for your actions."
And that's why none of them were touched. But they wanted a reaction and they got it. So Black people, you guys have to stand down. Young people, y'all have to stand down, because that was a setup. They went there, and you are going to try to act like that they were not supposed to get permission from the school to come on campus. You can't allow anybody to come on your campus, especially if it's going to cause a scene like that. That was not the type of people that they want to come to enrich their students. People can have real debates and sit down and speak in a clear, concise manner when the intent is right and when it's wanted. When this is something that they want at their school. The signs were disrespectful. The signs weren't saying, "Let's get along, come and become a part of MAGA. We're not racist. We're one nation under God." They didn't have signs like that. They didn't have signs how great the president is and how he's looking out for HBCUs. It wasn't those type of conversations. Or what can the government do to make it better for students at who decide to go to HBCUs? They didn't come for enrichment to enlighten the students. They came there to disrupt, and that's what happened. Go ahead.
"I am from the U.S. We just disagree on this one."
You're not from the U.S. You're not from the U.S. Because if you're from the U.S., you know the history of this country. You know the history of this country. We're not going to play these games. You know the history of this country. And this country, I thought, was finally turned around. I'm proud to be an American. This is the first time that I know of that you had white, black, Hispanics, Latinos, Indian, indigenous, Asians. All of us came together to vote and put Trump in office. And now it's like, it seemed like a left turn has been made. I thought he was bringing us together as one nation under God. But I see more divide now than ever before. We're dividing. And it matters what people say. It matters what the mainstream media, Trump is having a fit over what they say about him. He said, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words won't hurt you. Well, it hurts the president. It hurts him. 93% of everything that was said about Trump was negative on all mainstream media. Negative. Words matter. What people say. That's why he's been having a pissy fit about different people and going after different people. He is going after different people. So it does matter. He was happy when Kimball got removed from his network and Stephen Colbert is leaving. He was happy about all of that. Go look at any of his True Social posts. It does matter to people. And it matters to the President of the United States. And he's the president. President of the free world. President of the United States. But I'm shocked that we are appearing more divided. Read this one. That we are becoming more divided. Because I said in this election, he had over 2 million black men voted for President Trump. And now, 8 months later, look what's going on. Look at what's going on that we have nothing to do with. Nothing to do with. But we're going to talk about black crime, but we got mass murderers and shooters running around this country who aren't black that are killing cops, and it's not being, the news media is not even showing it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But if they were black, all hell would have broke loose. No National Guards being sent to York, Pennsylvania. No National Guards being sent to the cop that was killed, like ambushed and killed. The cops that was killed, people killed today. No National Guards being sent. I'm going to put up so many different people. Talking about what happened to that young Ukrainian girl, unfortunately, what that mental ill man did to her. But guess what? It happened to 3 black medical students. No news. It just happened. Another white young boy. He just stabbed to death 2 black kids, college kids. It's not making the news.
You won't see that on Fox News.
Nobody, it's not there. But they're going to show about the ICE detainees being killed and being shot at and all this other stuff. But they're not showing all this But when a black young man, former employee of Doge, Elon's guy, gets beaten up, not murdered, well, he got beaten up, National Guards, FBI, AFT, Homeland Security, everybody. And we just arrested anybody that had pigment in there, any kind of pigmentation. We just going white. We just arresting all. Oh, y'all safe now. Who's safe to go? Who's safe to eat in the restaurants? Black people? Are you safe now? Black people not in the community.
You wouldn't know the black kid's name because the media doesn't talk about it.
Yeah, we'll put it up. We're going to put it up. I can go right now and show you. I'm just so shocked. Especially these cops that are being murdered. Not if it were black people murdering, it'd be plastered. Because if you can do National Guards for one dude getting beaten up, and all these cops, men in blue, are being assassinated and murdered, and the news coverage not there because of pigmentation, that's what they're not showing you. But all this trying to capitalize and make money off of Charlie Kirk's death, all these people, they making fortunes. They're going to drag Charlie Kirk. They like all this stuff going on. These imitators. Charlie Kirk, he believed in what he believed in. I don't know if he was racist or not. I'm not going to. God, he's dealing with God now. He has to answer to God, because people can tell you anything. But at the end of the day, we all going to stand before God, and you're going to answer to God. And God is not, he created all this. He's not going to say because they were black or they were white, because there's no all white section in heaven. We're the human race. And we all have the same capabilities. He gave us all the same brains. It depends on your education. That's it. No race is smarter than the other race. It's all about education. We all have the same capabilities. The only thing different about that God made is our pigmentation. That's it. And the majority of the world is brown. Charlie Kirk was not, he never went to a campus or had spoken out and it was all that type of chaos. That's not what he represented. And that's a disservice to his memory. It's very disrespectful to him and his wife, Erica, who forgave the shooter.
Wow.
They're being very disrespectful.
And then them walking away and recording it just to see show, like
go ahead.
Just to show, look what's going on, guys, and recording all of the students.
Recording them.
Reaction out of
They're going to be plastering that video everywhere. I won't be surprised if Trump say, see how they are, see how they act. Yeah, that's a lie from here. That was a setup. But all these cop killers, they not even mentioning the cops' names. They wouldn't even mention the murderer's name. I have never seen that. They said, we're not going to say his name, York, Pennsylvania. We're going to call him an actor. The white man that killed the cops, 3 of them, ambushed 2 in critical condition. We're not going to call him by his name. No pictures. We're going to call him an actor. They said an actor like 30 times during the news conference. But if he was black, George Smith from so-and-so, black, it wouldn't have been like, they would have showed a mug shot with him looking all crazy. There's a disservice being done in this country. It's a disservice. And mainstream media has a lot to do with it. They show you what they want you to see, but thank God that we got Twitter, that's now known as X. I hate saying X. Everybody call it Twitter. We got Fox News, MSNBC, CBS. You got all sorts. Ground News. That's who we go, because they look at the right and the left. Ground News. They right in the middle. And that's who we get our news source from. It's Ground News. We probably gonna, and I'm gonna have Birch Gold. He's gonna come on here too. But people don't want to hear the truth. But the only way that we're going to agree to disagree, we have to have civil conversations and talk about these things that are happening in our communities. And when you have people that are intentionally setting stuff up like this for clickbait and for views and to paint a picture, don't spam.
What?
Yeah, they got pictures of Charlie Kirk's killer, Tyler Robinson. What's his name? Yeah, Tyler Robinson. They finally put a picture of him up, but they didn't put pictures of people who are killing cops up and not calling them about their names. And they most definitely want to prove, he had a trans girlfriend, but he was registered Republican, whole family MAGA, so, but he's not called a thug or violent or criminal, because that was a violent, criminal, thuggish act. That's what that was. We gotta really come together as a country, but the leadership has caused so much division. Like, you have people on here that didn't want to hear it. Like, we showed Trump in the best light. They don't want to hear it. But we're going to talk about the truth.
Thanks, Gus.
Thank you. We're not going to sugarcoat it, and we're not beholden to any particular party, because I voted for Democrats and now I voted for a Republican president. So I'm black and a female.
No, look what happened after that cop took George Floyd's life.
You know, so
I'm trying to say George Floyd OD'd.
he didn't OD. And y'all, we're going to stop all the lying that's going on while we watch him die on camera in front of our eyes, because it was allegedly he had a counterfeit that nobody put was a $20 bill. Instead of taking him to jail, he on the ground handcuffed behind, and they blood coming out of his goddamn mouth.
Cried out to his mom.
Crying out to his mother. Crying out to his mother. They stopped the man, he couldn't breathe. They knew they was doing. They killed him right in front of, oh, my bad. We're going to try to find something in some toxicology to say that did not kill him. That meant he had been walking or whatever. He just got munched. He didn't even run from the cops because he didn't do anything that he had to run from the cops. But that shouldn't have cost his damn life. Shouldn't have cost his life. Everybody got an excuse when stuff happened to black people. But when stuff happened to white people, don't nobody got all these goddamn excuses. They always go with mental illness or they had mental illness. Oh, they had a trouble life. It's always that.
They were bullied.
They were bullied. Well, we're traumatized for 400 years. We have mental illness as well. But do they say, oh, that black person, did they have mental illness? Hell no. We're not given the same grace. We're not out here trying to do everything wrong. A lot of stuff, they put drugs in our communities. They did mass incarceration. It's been so much that's been done to the black community. We all listed. Y'all would be shocked of what the black community from since slavery till now have gone through. And it doesn't stop. It hasn't stopped. They still want to paint us a picture like we're violent, and we're not the violent ones. We're not the thugs. We know who the real thugs are and the violent ones. It's a history of who the violent people are. And they want to flip the script on black people. We never hung people from trees and enslaved people. We ain't do all this stuff.
Wiped out most of a race.
We ain't get rid of all the Native Americans. I mean, we ain't do all this stuff. Come on now. We're one nation under God. All this left and right, there's one president elected at a time. Period. One president. He's supposed to serve all Americans. Not just MAGA, not just Republicans, but your Democrats and non-voters. Because you know, there are more non-voters who didn't vote than anything else. And your non-voters. He's supposed to be the president of blacks, whites, Hispanics, Latinos, indigenous, Indians, Jews, Italians, whatever they are. He's all of our president. Trump is our president. And it's going to take him to bring the nation together because it's becoming more divided. I didn't like Miller's speech or whatever.
Oh, someone said you should do a podcast.
Oh, I should?
Yeah.
I'm going to start bringing people on, and I know it's hard to speak the truth. It's hard to, you know how easy it is to come on here and say, oh, look how they act. They were bound on, they went into their house and did that. Intentionally. And they made it. They probably gonna make thousands of dollars. What, 10,000, 20,000? I don't know. They're gonna make so much money off of that. They're gonna make tons of money.
Now people know who they are.
Yeah, I didn't know who they were. Now they're known. They're like, oh, this is what we do. It's all, YouTube is it's all about reactions. It's all, okay, what can I do to get a reaction? Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll go into HBCU campus that's minding their own business, didn't ask me to come, don't want to debate, don't even want to have a conversation with you. You're already coming in there with signs, trying to degrade them. They don't even know that they're not DEI. It was to degrade them. You went in there degrading them. You didn't go in there saying, like Charlie Kirk, he didn't go in there like spewing everything right at people, and he got permission. They went in there intentionally to degrade them. It wasn't about debating. Nothing was about debating them. And they didn't ask for you, they didn't even ask you to even be there. They didn't even want to talk to you. You know, how's somebody going to show up your job? You don't even want to hear from them. They're going to tell you how to do your job, and they don't even work there. They don't even work there, and they're going to come in and tell you how to do your damn job. And I'm like, how you going to come in? You never worked for this company. You never did my job. How you going to come in and tell me how to do my job? You know how offensive that is, how we behave when somebody come on the job that just got made a supervisor, and they don't even know how to do the damn job, but they supposed to supervise you? You ever been through that?
That's like
I have.
That's like
That's why I always had to be a manager.
That's like someone coming and holding signs outside your house intended to piss you off.
Yeah, somebody coming outside your house holding a sign trying to piss you off. It's a way, it's how you go about things, but they got what they wanted. They got what they wanted. They got what they wanted. That's how that was go. But I just thank God the kids they took my balance. They didn't touch them. They ain't hit them. They ain't do all that. You know, they didn't like them being there, and they were voicing their opinion. They are college students. They're going to act that way. They invaded their space. They were uninvited. That's like somebody coming in your house uninvited. You're not even invited. I don't even like you. Didn't you just cheat with my husband and whatever? You coming in, you're not even invited in my house.
I saw a few students just joking around.
And a lot of students were playing and joking around, and they were just making a joke out of the whole situation. But that was wrong. And these HBCUs, I don't know why they are being attacked like this. You know, just like they had to shut down 5 of them, unfortunately, following Charlie Kirk's death. And the black colleges had nothing to do with his death, but black people were targeted, and it turned out to be Tyler Robinson. They knew that, and they still targeted black schools. And unfortunately, that was too soon for that, because we value life just like you do. You can't follow that with a black young man hanging in an HBCU. You can't. Then you're going to come on campus, you know, wear your MAGA hat. You're not trying to recruit them to the Republican Party. They weren't trying to recruit them. They weren't trying to say how great it is for President Trump to be president. They weren't saying how we welcome all people of ethnicities into MAGA. It was nothing about that. That would have been different. They came there with signs to degrade them, to get a reaction out of them, to cause the chaos, to cause the discontent, to cause the students to feel, you know, like they were being targeted in a negative way.
Tovin Jones, you can keep Allah to yourself and Buddha to yourself.
You know, so, you know, God is good, and I don't know. I'm just wishing more for this country. You know, but that's not how you're going to get the black vote. That's turning away the black community that was coming. I'm telling you, the black community that was coming over to the Republican Party. That's how you're going to lose now the black vote. That's not endearing. That's not saying why they should, you know, become a Republican, because that's what MAGA is. They're Republicans. That's not saying that we want, you know, you guys to receive more funding for your schools and for the president to do more for you. And we appreciate that we have more black men and black women that are voting Republican in the last election. What do you think will happen in 2028 if this keeps going on?
It's like now.
Nobody black is going to be voting for Republicans.
It's like now HBCUs are being like,
they're being targeted. They're trying to get a college education. They're not in the slum that y'all want to talk about. They're not in the ghetto, because majority of black people are not in the slums. They're not in the ghettos. We live in single homes, and we're doing just well. But they targeted, like every community got poverty. White people got poverty in their communities. So do blacks. So do Hispanics. Everybody has that, but it's like black people don't live in the ghetto. We live in houses and homes and condos, and we're in middle class, upper middle class, millionaires, multi-billionaires. So the stereotypes are outdated. They're outdated about the black community. We're not just barely making it like they want to keep portraying. We're not robbing everyone. We don't have to. They got those low income areas that they intentionally will hold resources from to cause all of the violence and the killing and the poverty and all of that. That's intentional. Because if you could take care of 14 plus million people, you can take care of those communities using our taxpayer dollars for American citizens. How about that? How about that? But I don't think that their intent was not trying to get them to become Republicans and support the president. They're pushing that community away from the Republican Party. All the gain that was made is being lost with actions like that. You can't go in there with these signs trying to degrade them and think they supposed to accept it and they supposed to debate you. They didn't even know you were coming, which was intentional.
Judge Jeannie talking about going after children.
And now they want to go after our children. But you got all these white young kids that are committing mass murders, and you don't talk about going after them in that community. But they're going to stop painting this picture about the black community because it's wrong. And instead of trying to help the situations, like they're doing in Baltimore, 62% of crime rate is down, and put the resources there. They don't want to do that. They want these stereotypes. They want these scenarios just in certain communities. It's not all black communities. And a lot of black people, it's not even black communities. We're living in blended communities. Communities are blended. They're blended. And so are our families. You got white men married to black women married to white men. You got grandmas with white grandmas with black grandkids. We're Hispanic kids. We're blended. This is a blended nation. And you have a lot of white people that's fighting for what's going on right now in support of the black community. They fighting hard. So this is not a thing against the white community by far. It's like what these men did, that their intent was negative. It was not positive. And nobody on here can convince me what they did was positive. That was not the intent. It was not, they were not trying to be positive. They were not trying to recruit them to become Republicans and tell them all of the great things that President Trump is doing and why their votes matter and why next election 2026 and 2028, why they should vote Republican. You think you don't need the black vote? We're going to see how it's going to work out for you. We're going to see how that's going to work out for you. You don't need the Hispanic vote. We're going to see how that's going to work out for you. Because this is what they're doing is not the way to go. So if they have more copycats like them, then you're just going to really push all the black gangs and Hispanic gangs voting Republican. You're going to push everyone away.
Well, if you want us to read what you're saying, just super chat.
You got super chats. You want us to read what you're saying. And thank you, everyone who has super chat us. We do appreciate it. Because unlike them other ones, we're not making no money off these freaking videos that we put up. But we feel as though that it's important because we want the country to come together. If they had the right intent and they came there and they wanted to tell them about the great things they believed that President Trump was doing and how many black men and black people voted in the last election, all that was not what they were there about. They were there to cause discord, and that's what happened. You can't come in with signs insulting people and trying to attack people and then show up unannounced while they just going about their business. They're on their schools, on their school grounds, paying to be there. And here they show up and they got what they wanted. And they got a lot of you thinking it was okay, and it wasn't okay. And the Republican Party are going to lose voters. This channel was made to support Trump. But they're going to lose. You're going to lose black voters. They keep doing this kind of stuff with these people, trying to be, I don't know if they call themselves trying to be racist or whatever the case, but they're going to lose. The Republicans are going to lose voters if that's the representation that's trying to be copycats, Charlie Kirk's. And I don't think that's what his wife, Erica, I don't think that's what she wants. I don't think that's her intent. They are stupid. Anyway, you guys, I'm ready to get off. Thank you for joining us. This wasn't a video I wanted to do, but I know that videos like this is circulating. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys. What?
I'm the one who got her on Team Republican, dude. She was a total Democrat, my mom.
Yeah, I was the regular vote straight down ballot Democrat. Didn't look at policy. Didn't look at anything. The Republicans are supposed to have been bad, racist, white supremacists, and all of that. That's what they were supposed to be. But I didn't know at the time when I was campaigning for Biden and previous presidents as a legislative director. I got videos. So I could show you videos and things with everybody. Been there, did that, all of that. Speeches, rallies. I probably have done maybe 200 rallies or more. I don't even lost count how many rallies I have done. I was wholeheartedly, hands down, Democrat.
You threw away my first Trump ad.
Democrat. Yeah, he had his first Trump ad. I threw that in the trash. What are you doing? I'm like a big deal. I'm campaigning for Biden. I'm talking to him. You know, and I had no idea. I really didn't look at the 1994 crime bill, him being the author of it, and the mass incarceration of black men and the effects on the black community, and President Clinton signed it into law, and what they did to my community, and what the Democratic Party, I don't know how it flipped. I thought it was the Republicans that was Ku Klux Klan. I thought it was the Republicans with mass incarceration. I thought it was the Republicans, Jim Crow. I thought it was the Republicans that didn't want the Civil Rights Bill to be passed. It was all the Democrats. So then I said, what the heck? So then I come over to the Republican side, and it's like almost Trump is doing the playbook from the 1994 crime bill. It's calling black people thugs, how they need to be incarcerated, how they need to lower the jail age, and history is repeating itself. So I'm like, oh no, hell no. No, I'm not down with all of this. I think it's black community. We're going to have to just look at who's going to be the best people for our community, and they're going to have to earn our vote. They're going to have to earn our votes. Because we can't keep putting people in office that do everything to harm us.
They did not do what Charlie Kirk would do. They did what they did for clicks and views. Yeah.
They were not Turning Point USA.
They went there to upset
them. To upset.
Charlie Kirk didn't do that.
They went there with intentionally to degrade them with their signs and upset them to get the reaction that they had received. They were unwelcome. They were uninvited. They didn't go there to enlighten them or encourage them. They didn't go there with that intent. Their signs didn't even demonstrate that intent. They didn't go there trying to get them to come over to the Republican Party and try to have a list of why MAGA is for everyone. Why you need to be a part of it. The elections are coming up. So, look, comparing the Democrats and the Republicans, that was not their intent. Their intent was to cause the chaos. Their intent was you can't come with DEI signs and things like that when they don't even have the understanding that the black community did not benefit from diversity, equity, and inclusion. But those kids are not focused on it. They focus on what they're majoring in school. They're focusing on college life, not that what they were bringing. They did not come there to educate or enlighten those young people. That was not what they went there to do. And they got what they wanted. And they got what they knew they were going to receive. They knew it. See, black people can't even mind their business on their own campus, on their own grounds, an all-black school without them coming there to cause the chaos. And then we're going to flip the script. The black people get blamed for it. You know that's how that goes down. They're mob violent. They didn't touch anybody. But we know how that's going to go down. That's what happens. They went to their school, but then they are the ones that are going to be labeled. And they didn't ask for it. But I'm going to take up for them. Because what they did was wrong. If they went there to tell them how great of a president Trump is or how they should vote Republican 2026, not with these signs degrading them to start chaos.
And an argument.
And arguments. And they weren't even asked to be there. They weren't even wanted. They minded their own business. But they got paid. They getting paid. They're getting their name out and they're getting views. It's clickbait. It was all about views, and that's what they got.
It's a predominantly black school.
And then people are going to take clips. See how those black students out. See. They ain't touched none of them. They ain't tapped none of them. Nobody got hurt. But they're not going to say, oh, but you have people out here mass shooting people, and they don't say nothing about that.
Brandon, buddy, you need to actually look what DEI actually
and people
is.
still don't know what DEI is.
Yeah.
It's sad.
He's saying they're trying to teach what DEI actually
They
is.
did not come there to teach DEI. Stop it. Stop it.
They would just lied about DEI and say DEI.
Stop it. They did not go there. They went there to get the reaction they got, and now they got their name out there. They got the clickbait, and they knew that would cause a reaction. They knew it was going to cause a reaction.
Yeah, DEI is wrong because if you actually looked it up and see who it benefits.
But they didn't go there. They didn't go there with MAGA hats on trying to say why you should vote for Trump in 2026-20. They didn't go there saying let's have They didn't even ask the school. It was not their intent to have a conversation, and they were not wanted there. Let's just start with that.
If you want to explain, people in the comments.
If y'all don't know what DEI is by now, ask ChatGPT. Because I'm tired of trying to tell people what diversity, equity, inclusion. And we were excluded. We didn't benefit. Black people did not benefit from DEI. White women benefited from DEI. That they benefited. Followed by all the other nationalities. Black people were number 9 on the list. We didn't benefit from it. But they make us the face of it. That's how the media is. Every time something going on, they take clips. Oh, look how violent they was. But you got shooters shooting kids. They're not going to show you that. That's violent. You have people brawling at a wedding. I think the white guy, he killed people at the wedding. They're not showing you that. They brawling and fighting. They brawling and fighting at a game. They're not showing you that. They don't show you all the brawling and fighting going on in other communities. They have selective viewership for what they want to show you.
It's like people don't want to accept the truth. They still trying to say DEI is for black people.
Well, I don't care. I don't care. Jesus said, when you tell people the truth, just kick the dust off your feet and keep on going. Jesus didn't even spend his time trying to convince people who he was and whatever. And he was the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So, if you don't want to know, God bless you. It's not my job to educate you. You're an adult. You can find out for yourself. You can fact check everything. You can find out for yourself. Do your own research. So we live in a time that we have all these tools and resources available to us to find out information. So it's available to people who want it to really know the truth. It's out there. Well, I'm just saying what's already out there. It's already out there. So anyway, you guys, thanks for joining us. This is a tough conversation. I think that they were wrong. They did not go to these HBCUs to educate those young people. They went there to cause the chaos that they caused. They weren't invited. They didn't ask permission. They came there with signs trying to degrade the students, trying to evoke them. and they got it. But the kids were just laughing. They were angry. Some of them were mad, but nobody touching anybody. Was none of that. Thank God. I don't want them to lose their college education because these people are trying to incite them.
They were menaces.
You know, trying to incite them. And they got what they wanted, and they got out of there. They lasted around 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. They got out of there. But that was all wrong. So you guys, y'all got to watch out. You're going to have these wannabe Charlie Kirks. And he's wannabe, and they want to come to the black community that's minding their own business that have nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. And I guess they want to push the black people that voted for Trump. They want to push all the black people back to the Democratic Party. Back to the Democratic Party. I guess that's the goal. So they want the House and the Senate to go back to the Democrats and the presidency to go back to the Democrats. So I don't know, because you're going to need the black vote.
Brandon, why don't you just look it up for yourself? Crazy. Or are you just going to choose to believe what you think you know?
Let him believe. You don't have to convince him.
Let people, talking about DEI.
But let people believe what they want to believe. It's easier to believe a lie than the truth. So it's fine. If they're adults, they're not even, how can they teach their kids when they don't even want to believe? And it's not coming from us. It's stuff that they can look up themselves. God bless you. Believe whatever you want to believe. That's your right. Believe what you want to believe. Anybody going to try to convince you to believe? That's why, we can agree to disagree. We're not trying to make you believe what we say. We don't care.
Now Paul is attacking the college education level.
Okay, that's the next thing. God didn't make any white people smarter. He didn't make Asians smarter. It's all about education. If you're not given the same tools and equal footing and you're getting more resources, you're going to learn at a higher rate because at your schools, you're not given the same tools. But all our brains are the same. God is not racist. We're the human race. So if that's what you think, and if you believe in Jesus, you believe in God, you think that there's an all-white section in heaven, you're in it for a rude awakening. Or if you black that you feel that way, or Asian. We're going to have spiritual bodies in heaven. We're so thinking like, no, he gave us all, you couldn't even look at ChatGPT for that, but over there, he gave us all the same brain. He didn't make, because of color of your skin, or brain, because if that's the case, then black people are geniuses. You look at what we've done throughout the ages of time. He gave us all the same brains. And it is all about education. Or it's all about education. But he didn't make any race smarter. It all comes down to education. God is not a racist. That's not who God is. That's not who he is. He gave us all the same attributes: 2 eyes, nose, mouth, 2 ears, 2 hands, arms, legs, everything. He made us all the same. All our internal organs are the same.
Some scientists say that the Garden of Eden was maybe located in Africa.
Everybody said the Garden of Eden was, in Africa. But everybody derived from the black race, whether you really want to realize it or not. Do your research in history and see how long that white people existed on this earth. What is it, 10,000 years? It's a newer race. But it's okay. People perish for lack of knowledge. That's the word of God. But we gotta become one nation under God. And the only way that's going to happen is if our leaders come together and stop this divide about red and blue and serve the people that they were elected to serve. I want my congressman or woman to serve in the capacity that they were elected to serve. I want my president to serve the American people at the capacity that he was elected to serve. All of us, whether we voted for him or not. Every president. I mean, this blue and red has got out of hand, Everybody act like it's still an election going on, and we already elected a president. But I believe that the direction we're going in, you're going to lose the Senate and the House if we have people doing this and want to show up in the black community and try to degrade the young college, the young people that's actually trying to get an education are the people that you want to attack. You're not going in the slum and the ghetto like you claim. You want to go to the colleges. So the HBCU colleges bother you. They bother you. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. They're trying to get a higher education. Why does that bother you? You don't want them to be thugs, ghetto, and violent, all the labels that you try to put on the community of people, which is wrong. It's not a community of people that's like that. You have individuals, just like every mass murder is, I don't label the whole white community or all shooting children. So anyway, you guys, I'm about to jump off, and I don't like what they just did. I just think that is pushing the support Trump had. I think that it's pushing the black community away from voting in the future Republican.
How do you think Trump lost to Biden? Like, the black vote plays a major role.
It matters.
Yeah.
It matters. Every election you see, it matters. Those votes come down. Kamala barely lost. She barely lost the election, and I felt like she was unfit. That's why I couldn't vote for her. I felt as though we would have been in World War III out the door, and our country was being taken over inside the country. We had everything running this country with the open borders. We were not going to survive another 4 years of that. We just weren't going to survive it. But we got a lot of stuff still brewing with Russia now that I'm more concerned about than what's happening here. Everybody's is distracted by this, but they're not watching Russia and China and India and North Korea. The EU is even buying freaking oil from Russia. This is a mess going on worldwide, but we're focused on the wrong things. But I don't know if the Republicans are going to have the House and the Senate in 2028, if this is direction that this administration is going in, and the people that are out here, these copycats want to be Charlie Kirks. It ain't going to work. It's not going to work. Going to campuses and calling it a tour. And you're going to put up degrading signs that's not even welcoming to the population that you're invading. It's not welcome in that environment. And you know it. So it's all intentional. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to jump off. Thank you for the new subscribers. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. I know this was a tough conversation. Thank you for all the super chats, everyone that gave to this channel. We appreciate it.
Kathy, how we can choose a Republican over Kamala is because of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That party is not for God and are led by God. They do everything.
It's going to be hard. This next election, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to have to look at policies. And this is like so discouraging for me because I've been fighting tooth and nail for this freaking Republican Party, and it's getting harder and freaking harder. You got people doing these pop-up, want to pop up and try to harass these HBCU college students. That's not cool.
Yeah, their goal is to anger.
Yeah, it's not. You're gonna lose my concern. You're gonna lose the black voters that they gain, and they have more black people voting Republican than ever before, and about to lose it. And like I said, Kamala she only campaigned for 3 months, 2 months. She didn't say anything, and she still was in the race. She still was in the race. So those millions of black people that decide to vote for Trump would have voted for her, she might have won. She might have won Pennsylvania. She might have won some of those swing states. Because he wasn't winning them by much.
Yeah, Romeo.
So
yeah, because Romeo said, "Oh yeah, I heard there were threats at HBCUs after Charlie Kirk passed away."
It was 5 colleges had to shut down. Colleges. What do college students have to do with it? Y'all want black people to be productive and to, you know, live the American dream and be a plus to society and
What did black people
black
have to do?
yeah, what did black people have to do with it? Not a damn thing. And they still want to bring the drama to the schools, and then blame you for reacting to the drama. I mean, ain't that some BS right there? That's how they do it. They brought the bullshit. You react to the bullshit. Then they say, see, look at them. They found, look at them. We know the game. That's terrible. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you guys. I don't know about 2026 election, 2028. It is. I don't think it's going to go as smoothly as it did for Trump in 2024. I don't see it happening. They keep going down this path, you know. But thanks you guys for joining us, and we're gonna put up more content. Hit the like, share, subscribe, so when we upload, you'll get the content. You know, 99% of the channel is in support of a lot of what Trump is doing, but we like we said, we're not going to agree with everything. I don't agree with attacking the black community that supported him. I don't believe in that.
There's not really anyone I would vote for besides one. I would vote for Tulsi, though. I feel like.
Because you like Tulsi. My son is superficial when it comes to women. She's awesome. He loves how she looked too. So anyway, you guys, thanks for joining us. God bless you. And I don't know. The Republicans think they got it locked down, but I don't think so. They keep on, because a lot of white people is totally against this administration, more so than us. So I don't know. I don't know what Trump is going to do, or the future of the Republican Party, because you can't alienate the people that are coming over trying to support you. Can't alienate them. So anyway, you guys, thanks for joining us. God bless you. Thank you for the moderators. We're going to look for some more moderators. You know, I know some people didn't like what was said, but oh well. That's how it is. My son said, Mom, they're not going to, well, we beholden to God. God comes first, not man. We got to answer to God. When I stand before God, He's going to say, oh, you gave in and did all this for views? No. But there are channels that are doing it. That's what pissed me off. So this black channel, and I ain't going to give him no time. He's sitting there going along. Yeah, look at them black people. Yeah, there's a lot of channels like that with those type of people that they say everything you want them to hear, but it's no truth in them. So we got to do what's right for everybody, regardless of the color of your skin. You got to do right by all Americans. All Americans. That ought to mean something. Do right by all Americans. Yeah. You just can't have one segment of people that are making it and everybody else is suffering. It don't work like that. Mm-hmm. You want to make America great again, or one nation under God, everybody got to do well. Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah, like when Trump, like I see him on True Social saying terms like radical left.
Radical left. Yeah. He says this and that. We gotta. You're still the president of the radical left. Yeah. You're the president of all of us. I don't know. Don't worry. I'll run for president, and I'll be for all the people, one nation under God, and bring us together. And do right by all of us.
It'd be you versus my sister.
Here, my son said be me against my daughter, because she's the total opposite of what I believe in right now. She's fit the ball. My daughter is a fireball. She ain't no joke. She is no joke. So anyway, you guys, thanks for joining us, and we just pray for this nation, pray for the president, pray for our college students, pray for our kids' future. Pray for your families. Pray for everyone. Just pray for everyone in Jesus' name. Amen. Have a good night, you guys. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. And before y'all go, I try to get the likes up to 100. That'd be great. Thanks, guys, and thank you those who supported the channel with the super chats. God bless. We'll be on probably tomorrow. Look for our live.